Okay, welcome to CB3's SLA committee for August 13th. This is not our standard committee meeting. This is going to be our policy meeting, where for the past several months, we've been reviewing some of our standing policies. We've made a few minor changes. Tonight, we have actually our proposed changes that we're going to be reviewing a draft final version of those, and we'll be voting on those. They will go to a vote at the full board meeting in September. I think it's the 24th, 23rd or 24th. Yeah. Oh, that's right. It's changed to because the 23rd falls on a holiday. So it's going to be September 24th, which is a Wednesday. So we're going to start off the meeting with a roll call vote. Guillermo Zviglia, Stephen Ballinger, here. Michael Lavario, absent. Megan Joy, absent. And for those of you here, members of the public, we will be putting the information on the screen. We'll kind of go through things, and we will give you a chance at the end to comment or add anything you would like to contribute or any questions you have about anything we've discussed tonight. Okay, so I'm going to start by actually let me get paper copies. Sorry about that. Okay, so I think we're going to go ahead and what makes sense is one of the things that we have discussed is our guidance that we have for applicants when they come to the community board. One of the things that the office does is send out some information that we have, which is our guidance. This is something that helps us as a community board know how we are reviewing and the things we consider when we're looking at applications. And it also helps the applicants know what we expect. And it helps the office know what information they can give out to the applicants when they're calling for questions.
I'd like to say also it keeps our consideration consistent.
Okay, so one moment, I'm going to share my screen and have the, okay. Okay, so everyone should screen. I will. So this is again. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the administrative approval. Sorry, I have the wrong document on the screen. Give me one moment. We're going to start with the regular guidelines, not the administrative approval. Hey, just okay. So this is the document. I've marked up the past version. The last time this was updated was in October of 2022. So again, the letterhead will be changed. Everything will be updated when we have a final version. The first paragraph we're leaving essentially the same with no changes. What we did add, just so that applicants are, I guess, made aware that it is important for them to reach out to community groups and residents. We're not requiring it, but we're just mentioning it so that they can help get their information out there and prevent last minute surprises when the community comes. So we added a line that says, and reach out to nearby community groups and residents to inform them of your plans. Susan?
You want to add in parentheses,
Sure. I think that makes sense. Okay. Several times. This process is, we wanted to, again, we're not making this a black, to just let applicants know that like to kind of keep the current impact of a location. So if they're in where that has the surrounding community. So we added this, I added this from summarizing what we've discussed. And I said, when reviewing applications, CB3 gives serious consideration to the current use slash impact of location. The goal is to ensure that any new licenses do not increase the impact, whether hours or method of operation on the community. And this was a first.
So just because I am now getting applications.
Five, six, three.
Laura, can you hear?
Yes, 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 yes. You looked like you were muted before.
Okay. Let me try something else. So I'm gonna, I unmuted it on my computer, but let me try again.
Okay.
Okay. So you can hear me now. So I think it had to do with my computer, but for some reason. Okay, now can you hear me again, Laura?
Yes.
Yeah, but there's feedback, right?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
So mute that one. Okay, so that's muted,
Still feedback.
but there's still feedback. Does it sound okay? Do you hear feedback on your side, Laura?
It's a little echoey, but it's totally audible.
Okay. Okay, it seems like, well, that's going to be annoying on our side with this echo though. Can you still hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so that's interesting because I've now turned off all the mics.
Yeah, I don't know what to say, but I can hear you. And it was fine in the beginning. I don't know.
There's no other laptops or anything else.
No,
I don't know what it is.
I mean,
Now?
testing, can you hear us now?
Yes.
Okay. So it has to do with my computer, but I don't know why. And even if that one is unmuted,
So shall I mute this?
you can mute that one.
Okay, you're just gonna have to go. I don't know what.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's
So-
working.
At least you can hear us now.
Yes, yes, I can. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to sharing the document.
You think it's your computer?
No, I mean, it's a set, I don't know what the difference is, but. And the thing is, you don't even have to have the microphones on.
No, okay.
Let me share the document one more time. Okay,
So I'm gonna push back on where to put the 2 year, and I think it should be above the alterations. I think it should be like in the beginning, in your face. You know, there's it must be operating for 2 years.
well, I guess the question with that is though, isn't that under the criteria, like, should that be, because this is talking about the types. It's alterations, it's new license, it's restructuring. So I don't think it should be listed separately under that section. It may be under the first paragraph, maybe if it's certain applications that can be administrative approved without the applicant submitting. And then at the end of that line, administrative approvals. And we can use the language from the second page.
I really think it should be right up in front before they start even looking at it.
Well, that's what I mean. It'll be in that first paragraph.
Before the alter,
Yes, before operations, not as a separate item, but just,
in that, at that, okay.
so I think here, I'm gonna just copy this language from the second page. So, and maybe it can be a second, should it be a second paragraph? Or just at the end of that first paragraph, what's more clear?
Let's have a one sentence.
True.
And that's it.
Yeah.
So, and I'll put, licenses approved under the administrative approval process. Should it be licenses approved under the administrative approval process? Agree that they will agree to not apply? Is that,
I wouldn't put agree.
Or just
It's
put may not apply? May not apply for an upgrade to a full on-premises liquor license or a method of operation change before its business has been in operation for a minimum of 2 years and without first obtaining approval by CB3. Is it clear enough to say, should we also include something like may not apply for an upgrade to a full on-premises liquor license, a method of operation? Are hours under a method of operation, or would they be considered a separate thing?
I think simple is better.
Okay. Because I just don't want them saying that it doesn't say anything about hours and they come back in and extend with,
Okay. What's a method?
is that a method of operation?
Method of operation, comma, or
Or-
alteration. It covers
Yeah,
everything.
that'll cover everything. Method of operation. Change, actually. Or duration. Before the business has been in operation for a minimum of 2 years and without first obtaining approval by CV3. Okay. So then we go into this. Alterations didn't change, new licenses. We've pretty much already went through everything there. Nothing changed under restructuring, various license applications. The second page actually has the criteria that they have to abide. And I think we need to update this where it says new wine and beer licenses. Should it just be new licenses? Okay. So everything that's closing on or before 12 a.m. all days. Will not use outdoor space for commercial use, except that I may apply for a dining out in New York City program, but will close or open streets.
Everywhere we have done it now.
Open streets. But will close all outdoor dining by 10 p.m. all days and not have any music speakers and TV monitors.
Like this.
It did. I will not have commercial use of backyard, side yard, or rooftop. And I took out again because I think it was just repetitive to have any outdoor space will close no later than 10 p.m. when we say I will close all outdoor dining by 10 p.m. And then the second or the third,
Outdoor is a specific, outdoor dining is a specific program. Or is that dining out?
that's dining out, yeah. The item number 3 is will not apply for an upgrade to a full on-premises liquor license or a method of operation change before my business has been in operation for 2 years and without, this is the same thing as the front. I think we should say an upgrade to a full on-premises liquor license, comma, a method of operation change or alteration. Before the business been in operation for a minimum of 2 years and without first obtaining approval by CB3. The rest of those 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 have not changed. I did add in something. This is something we've always said, but it was never on this actual list. Will not have unlimited drink specials with food, including boozy brunches. And then just renumber the last bullet.
Is that on stipulations also?
It is on the stipulations. It just wasn't on this checklist. Does that make sense to everyone? Anything that needs to be added, changed? Okay. So we will move on to third document, which we have. It's the actual stipulation form.
Administrative approval.
Yes, it's the administrative approval stipulation form, which I will be sharing momentarily.
You guys have,
Yeah.
Okay. So the one thing we added, I started out making 2 separate administrative approval stipulation forms, one for beer and wine, one for OP. And I realized that they're essentially the same thing. The only difference was the one item, which I made number 1, it's my license type. So as opposed to having 2 different forms, they're just one form and they check off whether it's administrative beer and wine or administrative full liquor.
so will you add under that? The method of operation category. And then we have to go with the tavern, restaurant.
Okay, we're gonna add in, just for clarification from our standpoint, when they apply to the SLA, they have a method of operation category. I think we're gonna add that to our stipulations as well, just so that we're lining up with what the SLA actually has on their applications. We're making more consistency between what we have and what the SLA has.
And what happened in the last week is we had a place that applied for us as a cafe. We wrote a resolution supporting them as a cafe. We went to the SLA and we said, you don't meet the criteria, you're a tavern. So they got approved as a tavern, but no one ever told us, and it's not what we supported.
Okay, so Susan, what was the wording for that? So I think it's going to be my license category. And we're going to take this straight from the SLA 30-day notice and application, so it'll be the categories that they have on there. So that'll be modified, but it'll be modified to meet exactly what the SLA is asking for on their application. So I'm gonna leave this section blank for right now, and then I will pull from the SLA what they're exact. These next few items, which is now item number 3, operate full service restaurant, standard language we've had always. Kitchen open serving food during hours of operation, again, standard. They can fill in their hours. And then we have checked off because they're allowed. I may apply for a sidewalk and or roadbed dining. And I think we probably need to say same thing. For open streets program. And again, I took out the last line, which was any approved outdoor space will close no later than 10 p.m. because we have it up above. Next, number 6, same thing, either closed front or rear facade doors and windows, or we'll have a closed fixed facade. Number 7 is we'll not have DJs, live music, all the standard stuff. I will play ambient recorded background music only, same thing. The next change we have is under item number 11. So that's where I will not apply for an upgrade to a full on-premises liquor license or a change to my method of operation or hours for at least 2 years after my operations begin. So in this case, this is where I actually added or hours. I think we should just be consistent and say, I will not apply for an upgrade or for a change to my method of operation or alteration. For at least 2 years after my operations begin. And then next, the rest of them, 12, 13, 14, those were all standard that we had before. I don't think there's anything that needs to be changed or updated on those. So I think those are the three main documents that we've addressed. The other things that we've discussed in the earlier meetings about changing, we're updating the website, we're taking off the duplicate. There's a lot of things that are duplicated on the website in various places. We're cleaning that up and going to have it all in one place. We're just changing the definitions online. We added the open restaurants program. None of that stuff needs to be voted on. Those are just basically clerical things. The things that we just went over, which are changing the guidelines, the admin policy, and the admin stipulations, those are the things we actually have to vote on. Does anyone have any questions about any of this or anything else we've talked about before? Or is there something that we're missing?
So we're not changing the normal. Like the normal questions.
I just want to make clerical changes.
Yeah.
Add the category of method of operation.
Gotcha, because we mentioned in the last meeting that dance.
Yes, we're gonna add a checkbox for dancing on there, but that's
Yeah.
not a change in that's just a question. That's not a change in our policy. So that's a clerical, so I don't think that needs to, that's something we already discussed, so it's not.
We should actually add that to the questionnaire also.
Yes. And I think, and since we have it up, I think we would add this to the same stipulations for the admin process too, right? So since I have that document up, it'll be under, right now, the document we're looking at, which the printed out version is number 6 online. If you're looking at this, it's number 7, where it would be, I will not have DJs, live music, promote events, any of which cover fee, charge, scheduled performances. And that same in that number 7 bullet, we would just add dancing as well. Because that is something that comes up many times. The other thing that we discussed at our last meeting, it's a clarification. This again doesn't necessarily need to be voted on. We're adding into on the website the DJ section because it's something we get all the time. Is we're just putting what we consider a DJ is yeah.
Staff.
The language we had last time, which I have right here. So the language we discussed last time was, it would be any person, a DJ is any person dedicated to control the music selection and respond to the crowd. That was when I went back and listened to the recording last time, that's kind of what we did, because we first started talking about an outside promoter, but then we thought it was better to clarify it and say, because it could be an employee, not necessarily an outside promoter, but it could be an employee managing and selecting the music and responding to the crowd. Does that make sense to everyone?
It does, and I think it's clear.
And it's more clear than, because we get that question constantly is they want DJs, but then it turns out it's just going to be someone managing a playlist, not selecting the music one by one. And okay. Okay, so we'll change the stipulations here. It'll be under the admin approval number 7, and it'll be the same stipulations on our regular stipulations for non-admin approved items. Okay, anything else? Susan, I mentioned we're going to fill in this category section. And then, okay, so I know there's some people here. Actually, there's one person here in public, Dennis.
Eric, you want to come up here and speak?
No, I'm sorry, I'm late and I got this. First time I've seen you actually in print here. just some things in here, my input on this, with our circumstances. I would like to see these changes. Applying for changes, like going out into the street, stuff like that. To the neighbors be questioned about. And that by CB3. I would like to see CB3 on foot in our neighborhood. Coming to, we can be contacted for appointments. Whatever.
I'm sorry. So what are you asking for? Is it?
When these changes are applied for, like say they want to extend out into the street. And stuff like this, we should be consulted. Like it says here, if there's no reports of trouble, and how they know that? Because there's not other than a police reports.
Well, or 311s or
Yeah.
neighbors that have complained to the community board. Sorry.
So if we don't give them till 10 o'clock, then they can operate till 12. That is why we do the stipulations. The city says you can, first of all, the city doesn't recognize those stipulations. They say everybody can stay open until 12. We do the stipulations because we want them to close earlier. It's a residential community. Our weight is with the state liquor license. If the city will not, can they hear me? Online? The city will not enforce our 10 o'clock. The city tells everyone you can stay open until 12. The state liquor authority will enforce that you cannot serve liquor after 10. The state liquor authority puts our stipulations on the liquor license. So if we don't give them the stipulations till 10, they're all gonna be open till midnight.
Yeah.
But I think that's what he was asking. He's saying that he wants to be notified. He thinks that the neighbors should be notified.
It's on our website. Every one of these is on our website.
And we can't require them.
What I'm looking at here was under the of applying maybe 2 years later, whatever, for changes.
Yeah.
And I noticed rooftop in here also, 130 Madison Street, the soccer club. They have events, roof parties, DJs. They're out into the alley with these.
But that wasn't administrative. So all the changes and alterations and all of that will come to the community board and anyone can speak to them.
I understand. I would really like to see you all in our neighborhood though.
No, but we're volunteers.
Wait,
I
you want
mean-
to see us here? We live here.
No, he wants to see us in the neighborhood. He wants us to come down and knock on his door personally. I'm sorry, we're volunteers. We can't do that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think that would be that would be great if we could. I don't have the capacity to do it. I'm sorry.
understand.
We're not an enforcement agency. We're not an investing. We have a 4-person staff in the office. I already work like 50 to 60 hours, and I am out all the time, taking photos and sending them. So we actually are out there and we get emails and photos from residents all the time, and we work with them and act on them. So I think we do an awful lot. Clint sends me photos and complaints all the time.
Yeah, the one thing that I will say, for the admin approval, we don't require them. However, for regular licenses that come to us that have any of those rooftop or anything, we require petition signatures. They have to be on the street petitioning. It has to be posted on the front of their building and they have to be petitioning.
Yeah, there's another thing here for a 7-day notice on the express thing. I worked out of state, and when things come up like this that I became aware of, then I had to arrange with other neighbors to show up. I couldn't come. We have people, we're working 12 hours a day, neighbors, kids and all that stuff, and it's impossible for them to see what's going on. And somebody just comes in the neighborhood Friday or Saturday nights, midnight or so, and you can see what's going on. Yeah, that's what I'm suggesting.
We're here, we do see, I live in one of those areas. I'm up all the time on Friday and Saturday nights. I live in one of those areas. We work with the police. The administration right now does not want any business, nightlife business summons. They don't want them to get fined.
I heard,
So that's where your problem is.
I understand.
And there is a new quality of life team that is supposed to respond in real time. And they're actually gonna, look at 311s. So I'm gonna say, and we're gonna be announcing information about this. It's really important to call 311. If there are 5 or more in a 28-day period on a one location, it pops out as chronic, and there will not be like a CompStat meeting. So it's really important to get those on the record. And if you have places that are particular problems, we have not been terribly successful recently, but we'll certainly work with anybody, and we do.
And I'm very happy to see 37 Market Street, the Dolly. The Dolly is gone now. But what I'm concerned about is because of what they had a full liquor license, now automatically here comes another. The Dolly, they boomed us out. They had good soundproofing for their building. I mean, for their business, but at times they would come, it would exceed that, but when they opened their front door, people coming and going, it would boom us out there. All kinds of trouble there, but we're so glad that's over with for right now. But this streamlining stuff, I don't want to see somebody automatically just slip right in, just like what's been going on.
So these are to deal with the problems. We only streamline businesses that close at midnight, and they have to be food-based. They're not clubs.
They
they're
don't
not
have
bars,
live music. They
they're
don't have
not
any of
concerts.
those.
They don't, and they close at midnight. So and I work with, my job for the last 21 years has been working with problem businesses. And I have seen that businesses that close by midnight are not the ones that are loud problems. And that's why we're streamlining these. And it's also a carrot to encourage businesses to close them. So we live in the same places you live and suffer from the same problems you suffer.
Right now, we've got, I guess, the college kids coming. And weeknights, this was last night, till 2 o'clock in the morning. They're over 36 till after midnight, 36 market, and then they come to 40 market. So we have to, and anyway, okay, well, thank
Yeah,
you. thank
But
you.
I think part of what your concerns, I think there's 2 issues. It's the enforcement issue, which is something that we can't really control. We can help with that, but we aren't an enforcement. We have no enforcement
I
power.
understand that. It's just a lot of things that happen that make, like the school, the bar next to the school there at Canal Street. I remember when I was fighting getting another bar right under our window. And I said, well, there's 2 kindergartens here, one right on each side of here. They said, well, that don't count as a school, things like that. Well, okay, so they have a school distance rule. So now here the bar here is right beside the school. And they have the big doors there on that end also, whether they use them or not. But you know, things like that that raise eyebrows. What's going on?
So, and I'm not sure specifically which item you're talking or which location, but the way the SLA measured is from the main doors of the school.
Yeah, I understand.
It's 200
What
feet,
somebody said.
200 feet from the main doors to the main doors of the establishment. So, and at times it seems like it is too close, and we've dealt with this as well, but it's based on the main doors of the school. So even if there's doors there that they use, if they use them as an exit, but if it's not the main doors of the school, then they don't count that. They count the distance from the main doors.
And not a single school has ever reported a problem.
Well, yeah.
I think the problems are with residents trying to sleep at night.
Yes, exactly.
That's the huge issue that we're dealing with.
Yeah, personally, I don't, it's none of my business what goes on in the bar, but it's when we can't sleep. then
That's
it's an issue.
what we hear a lot of.
We're with you.
Thank you, thank you.
Sure.
Hi,
Okay, thank
Clint.
you, Dennis.
Oops, sorry.
Okay, so Dennis is the only one here in person. We're gonna move to online. I think, Laura, I think you started to speak. Go ahead.
Yeah, so sorry. I can't raise my hand anymore, so I didn't mean to step on other people. Thank you all for your work on this. It's been very thorough, especially, you and Susan Clint, I know have spent a lot of time in advance of these meetings to make it easier for us. I have 2 things. One is with the galleries and event spaces. to presume that they are no impact is a little concerning. I totally get your intent. But they're of no impact. When I look at something like the Wild Project that has an internal gathering room, a lobby where you can do the socializing, they're no impact. But there are some that are very small and do have attracted crowds outside and lines outside in my experience. Those I think you remember who I mean, these galleries and things. So I'm just wondering about that one, and if there's anything.
Which bullet or what point are you
It's
talking about?
number 4 in the guidance.
In the regular guidance?
The regular guidance, right?
I think so, yes.
Oh,
The first thing you discussed.
Okay, the first, so it's the fourth bullet point,
yes.
or are you talking about the admin approval?
I'm so sorry, I can't see, so I
Hold on,
don't
let me
know.
put it up on screen. Are you talking about,
The motion says that
You see it?
number 4 in the administrative approval policy. That those places can have an impact. Like an event space, she's saying can have an impact, and it says that.
So that actually conflicts with what saying it has to be food-based.
hold on, I'm just opening the document.
There are some like, the tenement museum for beer and wine, and we administratively approved that.
That
That's different than an art gallery.
Oh, so you are talking about the,
Yeah,
yeah, you're talking about this document, Laura.
so why don't we take out special event and gallery and leave museum? Leave museum. And they all have to close by 12.
This is the document you're talking about, Laura, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, just saying that it has no, I mean, I get your intent is to administrative approve applications that have no impact. But some gallery special events have definitely had impact. And don't even have a liquor license, frankly, but that's a whole other story.
No, I agree. I think you're right.
I think we want to say that they may be administrative, not that they will be.
I like that.
Because again, something like the tenement museum.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense, Susan, or a
But-
theater.
but
Yeah,
A regular gallery, like it used to be across the street from me, so when those kinds of places come up, it's usually called a Clint and we discuss it. And again, something like, I agree with you totally. So maybe.
So how should we reword this?
Maybe.
So under various license applications that have no impact, such as museum gallery, and then say at the end, maybe, or various
Maybe.
licenses. So do we want to say maybe?
Eligible for it. On a case by case basis. There's very few of those.
On a case by case basis.
that's a great solution.
Okay.
And then my only other question, and forgive me if you've already said this and I missed it with the sound thing, but we had discussed encouraging community outreach for the full liquor applications in particular, and I didn't see that. I
So
get that it's on your other
Yep.
list of things to do, but I think the community would appreciate a reminder being here in case this is all anyone reads.
So that's only the admin. What you
Yes,
were just looking at, where I did add that is, pull that up again. Under our general guidance to liquor license applicants,
right.
it's on here.
Yes, but Okay, it's just that, I guess what I'm saying is this is, if, let's pretend an applicant only reads the, admin approval guidelines, and nowhere in this document does it suggest that community outreach is strongly encouraged. We had discussed this at one of the previous meetings, and I think that would go a long way to ease community concerns, even though the business closes at midnight.
I don't see how it would change.
No, it doesn't hurt. I don't think it hurts. I was just pulling up the document where we did add it. Just. So I added it here under the second paragraph. So you're saying that, so this is what they would be
Yeah.
reading first before they even get to the admin approval
I-
process, but you're
I-
saying if they skip over that.
I have no idea what order people read things in, but I think it really behooves us to put it in both documents. I don't see how we could go wrong by having it in the other document, and I could see where it could get missed.
Make it a number 6. No, I want to try.
Yep.
this.
Okay.
Yes.
So. Well, it can't be a number 6 because it's not a type. It has to be under.
It has to be under new licenses.
Mute yours and see how it works now, just to see if it works.
Can you hear me now, Laura?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I think if we add it under.
Yeah, in the general part, that's good. Thank you very, very much.
Because nobody's going to be reviewing them, and they do have to post it in their window.
That's great. I think it'll just go a long way to ease resident concerns. If it just that it's fair. And if you'll all forgive me, I'm gonna hop to another meeting. And not stick around for the vote unless anyone has any further questions for me.
There. Okay, Ian, is there anything you'd like to add? You can unmute yourself.
All good, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else? I had to unmute myself. Is that it? Yeah.
You've addressed for the past few months. One hypothetical is if nobody that speaks out, no community opposition.
So I wouldn't agree with that. First of all, not everybody even knows that we have this process. Um, you know, I, I think we, first of all, sometimes communities oppose things because they don't want to burn, things like that. So I think the committee takes community input and considers if how it impacts the community. Because sometimes a perfect example is people say, please deny this. And we know that if we deny it, there'll be no stipulation. So it's really not better for the community. It's just like we were discussing now. If we don't have people sign outdoor dining steps till 10, they'll be open till 12. So I think it's up to the committee to consider that, certainly consider it. I think people who live above a location that support it, that's more impactful input than lack of input.
The other thing, yeah.
I'd like to add something else. So a lot of the representatives call me all the time. And they'll say, and one of the expediters, or two of them actually, I'm thinking of, they'll say, is this a problem area? And I'll read them from the guide. This is one of the reasons this is so valuable. I'll say, yes, that is a problem. This is what it says. And they will say, they will go away. They say, I will not represent the person because their relationship with Community Board 3 is very important. So if we then, and then I'm going to say, I'll name names, we have other lawyers who will actually bully the committee into approving something. So what we're doing then is saying, okay, the ones that really respect us and will not apply for something that we think is a problem area, so they lose out, and the ones that don't adhere to our guidance and try and push everything through, they're the ones that win, and that seems kind of messed up. I also think back, there was a period when the committee, years ago, when Alex was chair, when the committee was very consistent and people were applying based on what the committee was supporting. That's why I think it's so important to say, not only do we not want it here, it is okay here to give people a place to apply. So we're not, we're not just saying no, but I think it does make it's just not fair to the people that are very respectful and don't apply based on our guidance. Several times we've been accused of being racist. And that's one reason consistency is really important.